Hello everyone, and welcome back to LovellasColoring. How are you guys all doing? I do hope you guys are doing very well, and I hope you guys didn't catch any cold like I did and are feeling better so you can enjoy the holiday that is about to come up, which I am not ready for. I'm not ready for 2020 either because I just can't believe that the year went by so fast. So anyways, in the beginning of my video, you may have noticed that I added a disclaimer to emphasize that my channel is geared towards adults who love anything and everything about adult coloring, the books, and the supplies we use. I will have a separate video talking about how my channel will go forward, especially with this whole COPPA FTC situation going on. And you know, I just been sitting back, taking it all in and seeing what everyone else was doing. Plus, you know, I just need a lot more clarification. Yeah. Anyways, so we'll go ahead and get started with all my finished colorings for the month of September, October, and November. And I'll show you guys my current whips also, and I'll add in a couple of my other projects that I'm also trying to do in between colorings. So I'll go ahead and clear the table up and we'll be right back. So the first book I want to share with you is the Posh coloring book, Happy Doodles for Fun and Relaxation, illustrated by Flora Chang. This was a gift from T, and she has a YouTube channel here which she changed to T's World of Adult Coloring. It used to be Cali Girl NNC, and so she had a color along I think in September, but I wasn't able to finish, and it is this one right here. She had a neon color along, and so I used my Holbein artist colored pencils, I think there was like 6 neon colors, and I could, you know, I tried to find different combinations using those pencils, and I ended up also adding highlighters and neon gel pens. This is gel pens over here, but I can't really tell. I think I tried to use glitter ones, but it's hard to see it. But anyways, yeah, so this is my neon owl from the Posh coloring book, Happy Doodles for Fun and Relaxation by Flora Chang. The next book I want to share with you is called Travel Mosaic, Color by Number. This is by Sunlife Drawing. And I'm not sure if I showed this in my last video, but I did this page, which is of Big Ben in London, England, and this glitter gel pen in between. And I also did the next page. I think this is the Sydney Opera House, also with gel pen in between. It was fun doing these. I like doing these in bed while you know, we're watching a movie and coloring. I have all the colors separated right here, and I think there's like different brands for this, but this is the one that has both the brush tip and the fine tip. Yeah, so I just carry this cup with all the colors already set, and of course I use a white Posca or white gel pen to write the numbers to be sure. So this is the Travel Mosaic Color by Number by Sunlife Drawings. The next one I want to share with you is by Hachette Heroes. Is the Disney, I think it's Princess and Fairies. Oh, someone told me how it's pronounced. Carré Mysteres. And I did the first page on here using Crayola colored pencils for the skin because I didn't want it to to be so dark. So I wanted to use the colored pencils for her skin, and everything else I used the Crayola Super Tips. And this is what happens when I go over it twice. I was like, oh, maybe I should just go over it, but then I stopped and I just left it. That's my testing. Yeah. So this is a lot of these you might have seen in the Color Your Hoard video also, because a lot of the books I am showing today are my first pages in each of the books. So again, this is the Hachette Heroes, Disney Princess and Fairies, Karron Mysteres. It's like the pixel coloring. And the next book I want to share with you guys is the Sweet Shop coloring book, which is illustrated by Chris Price. This is my first coloring in this book. So I did this page, I started this page for a color along, and it was a candy color along, and I didn't get to finish it. This was in September. I ended up having like a month of no coloring just because I had my accident. Things got busy, and so getting back into coloring, I did the color by numbers, and then this was the next one that I jumped into to finish. And yeah, I was just so determined to finish this, and I only used real brush pens, which is the Zig Kuretake Clean Color Real Brush, and also the Arteza Real Brush pens. So that's what I used for this page. No other mediums and no pencils. I even looked up this brand of candy just to see if there was to see how it looks like, and I saw the exact posters, so I tried to copy the colors onto here. All the rest of the candies I kind of have to make up, because it would take me forever to look it up and to find what colors they are. And these I just tried to make it look like Milano cookies. So yeah, really happy with how this turned out. I had a lot of fun playing with the real brush pens. Okay, so this is the Sweet Shop coloring book, illustrated by Chris Price. The next one is Steampunk coloring book, Joe Benitez's Lady Mechanika, and the page I colored in here is this one. There is a colored version of that right over here. Sorry for the glare. And so I did my own colors right over here. And I was kind of inspired to color in this book because of Kate's Coloring Heaven. Kate from Kate's Coloring Heaven. She had a steampunk color along, and also Vicky from Vicky's Coloring. I can't remember the rest of her channel name, but you guys probably know. But she had a Victorian color along. So yeah, so I was inspired to color in this book. I've been wanting to jump in here, but haven't. And when these color alongs came along, I went ahead and colored in here. I used markers, as you can see. I used the Touch New marker for her skin, and then Le Mouche markers for the rest of it. I also used Tombow Erosion for the pastel parts, colors, and then for her skin, hair, and the vest and the metal work, I used the Faber-Castell Polychromos. Really love how this came out, and I thought I didn't want to do the background because I like how she just pops out with a white background. Okay, so this is Steampunk coloring book, Joe Benitez, Lady Mechanika. The next book I want to share with you is Benny Blue 2 Grayscale coloring book, illustrated by Christine Karron. And the reason why I colored in here, this is also my first coloring in this book, was, there was a bunny color along that also had a color palette. So I used the color palette for here, and the name for this illustration is Sorry. And I wanted to color this because I was about to post a lot of colorings in one sitting on Instagram, and so it was going to be multiple settings. So I started with this one saying sorry. You know, I'm about to post a bunch of colorings, but yeah, I had a lot of fun. I just like went in, dove in and colored. I colored it with the Derwent Color Soft, and then of course the background is soft pastel. It is the Munyo brand, and that's it. It's simple. I think I didn't add anything else. It's just the Color Soft pencils. Really cute. Okay, so this is Benny Blue Grayscale Coloring Book, illustrated by Christine Karron. The next book is Coloring Heaven Collector's Issue Frightlings Halloween, and they are illustrated by Tabitha Thorpe. And yeah, right, I just think this book, this artist has really cute, scary illustrations, and I went ahead and jumped in and did the first page. I used Arteza Everblend markers and Lemichet markers. I also used the Arteza colored pencils, Crayola colored pencils, white Posca, of course, on the flowers and the wings and the stars. I also used stickles on the stars, and if you can see it glittering, and on the wings. Yeah, really cute picture. Had a lot of fun coloring in here. So this is Coloring Heaven's Collector's Issue Frightlings Halloween, illustrated by Tabitha Thorpe. The next one is Coloring Heaven Halloween Special. This one came with, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 illustrators, and I colored a page from Vera, who is also known as Shortbread. I think it was something else, lemon shortbread. Vera, yellow shortbread. She also has an Etsy. So the page I colored in here is this one, and I colored or copied it onto cardstock. There you go. And the outside is just alcohol markers. I used 3 different kinds of alcohol marker. I used the Arteza Everblend, Lemichet, and Touch New markers. I shaded it all in with the Faber-Castell Polychromos, and the background is done with Zig Kuretake Clean Color Real Brush. Of course, I did white Posca for here and on her hair, and just a little bit of stickles right over there. Yeah, had a lot of fun with this page. I was it was after coming back from that long hiatus of not coloring, and I jumped into a bunch of colorings, especially after getting these Coloring Heaven magazines. Yep, so this is Coloring Heaven Halloween Special, issue number 54, and the illustrator for this one is Vera, also known as Lemon Shortbread. The next book I want to share with you is Creative Haven Country Christmas Coloring Book, which is illustrated by Teresa Goodridge, and the page I colored is this one. I did it for several color alongs. You know, there was snow, there was winter themes, there was one that's called diversity, and lanterns and candles. And yeah, I really had a lot of fun with this one. You can see all the glitter on the tree, Christmas tree, and I added on some of the snowflakes right there. So what I used to color in this page were the 3 alcohol markers that I had, or actually no, I used 4. I used Bic markers, Arteza Everblend, Touch New markers, and the Lemouche markers. I used Prismacolor Premier colored pencils to shade it all in. I used white Posca to do the snow, to outline all the black lines, and Stickles for the tree and a couple of the big snowflakes. And the background here is alcohol markers, and I just used, I think it was powder blue, to give it like a faded look, and I used like a Q-tip to soften it up. Yeah, really love how this page came out. Had a lot of fun. So this is by Teresa Goodridge from Creative Haven Country Christmas Coloring Book. The next book I want to share with you is Misfits, a winter fantasy coloring book for adults and odd children. This is number 10 of her coloring book series. This is by White Stag. And I used a lot on this, that's why I have 2 post-its. So I had this idea of using pearlescent watercolors to make an aurora borealis, the northern lights, but I didn't know how I would color the rest of the sky, and then also use the pearlescent. And if I used regular watercolor, I was worried that it would just like bleed into each other. So what I did was I colored the background first with acrylic paint, and then I went over it first with the Paul Rubin pearlescent watercolor. It wasn't opaque enough for me, so I used my Kuretake Gansai Tambi, the pearl colors, to deepen up the pinks here and the green. And then I added some on the water too to make it reflect. And other mediums I used were the Arteza Everblend, which I used for the water right here. I used Touch New marker for skin, and then I used Lemouche markers for everything else, the lightest shade in the icebergs, and then I colored it all in, the shading for the icebergs and for the mermaid with the Mitsubishi Uni colored pencils, and white Posca, of course, for snow and stars and to outline all the black lines. I also used the Arteza gouache to do this part, just like I watered it down and then just went over it one time this way and one more time, and then I also like a thick color right here. I knew the color of the marker was going to bleed into the white, so I had to do it quickly, and that's what happened right over here. You can see it, but I like the effect of that anyways. And then right here it just stayed white. And what else did I use? I also used the Arteza twine markers for the dots for her fin to give that little glitter effect, and the Unival Signo, the silver, and you can see like, because that's where the black I white out with the white Posca, but I wanted to be seen, so I put the silver, so that was the snowflake falling down. Yeah. A lot of explanation for this, a lot of medium used in this page, and the page held up pretty good. After each use, I made sure it was dry. I flattened it with heavy books on top of it to make sure it stays flat. Yeah, really happy with how it came out. It wasn't how I envisioned, but you know, I can keep trying and see different ways to trying to get the effect that I'm seeing in my head. But yeah, I still love the shine of it. So that is Misfits, a winter fantasy coloring book number 10 by White Stag. The next book is Tabitha, which is illustrated by Hanna Karlsson, and this is Seasons. This is the Swedish version. So the page I colored in here is this one. There is multiple, like I said, multiple color alongs on Instagram that I did this for, where the color along was the miscellaneous page, and then this is winter themed. So yeah, I was able to include this page for that, and also for Grace from Grace Adult Coloring and Chatting Corner for her Hannah color along. Both Hannah Karlsson and Hannah Lynn. So yeah, what I used to color in the background is the Karron Dash Neo Color 2s. The rest I colored with Faber-Castell Polychromos, and I added white Posca on top of the black lines for the candle, right over here on the crystal. So that's how the crystal looks like up close. From far away it's hard to tell, but I did add a little bit of green that I used on this what is that, stem from a pine tree, I think. Yeah. So yep, so this, I think that's all these. Oh, and the silver uniball signal on just that part. That's all I used it for. So yeah, so this is from Tabitha or Seasons, illustrated by Hanna Karlsson. The next book I want to share with you is Imaginary Friends, which is illustrated by Karolina Kubikowska, and I believe this is her third book. And I was playing with watercolors already, so I wanted to use Derwent Inkten, so that's what I tried on the first page, the title page of this book. Yeah, and then so after doing this, I jumped into another page and also used Derwent Inkten's just for the galaxy portion over here, and I used black acrylic for the background, black Posca paint, or Posca paint, to do the one closest to the girl and to add dots, so it makes the black look gradual going towards the galaxy portion. And I also used white Posca to dot around the galaxy. I used the Paul Rubin pearlescent watercolors for this orb and the stars and the Saturn. You can see it shining. And for the rest of the page, I colored it in with Faber-Castell Polychromos. Really love how this page came out. I had a lot of fun and happy that I finally jumped into this book. So this is Imaginary Friends, illustrated by Karolina Kubikowska. Okay, the next three pictures are all from the same book, It's the book I'm trying to finish this year, and it is Astro Inklings Zodiac coloring book by Tanya Bond. So the first page I colored is this image right here, and so this is what it looks like with the iguana. And what I used to color in this page is the Lemmache markers and the Touch New markers. I also used the Karron Pablos and Prismacolor Premier colored pencils to color it in, and white Posca, and that's it. Really like how this came out. Okay, so the next page I did, it's already popping out, is this one, which is Scorpio, and this is how it looks like right here. Really love how she turned out. I really love how the whole page came out. I used Arteza Everblend Touch New markers and Lemmache. You can see it back here. So a lot of markers, and then I used all Holbein artist colored pencils to shade it all in, and white Posca for the outline of the clouds and the rain and the lightning. And I also used Tickles for the symbol for Scorpio and on her sleeves. Yeah, so I tried to use reuse colors in here, like her dress. I used it on her so it's warm gray, and I used it on the castle. The clouds were cold green. I used it on her vest. The same reds I used for the flowers. I used one of the reds that I used on the flowers and add a hint of it on the scorpion. And it's hard to tell, but for the clouds I wanted to add a hint of color. You can't tell, but I did add some purple in there. It's hard to tell in this one, but yeah. So this is Scorpio. And then on the last one, this is the last one that is finished for this video, is Sagittarius, and this is the page right here. And I used, again, markers, Arteza Everblend, Touch New markers, and the Lemmache markers. What I used for the background up here is Karron Neocolor 2. And then I shaded everything in with the Holbein Artist colored pencils again, and some Karron Pablos. I used the Posca pen. I forgot what kind. I think it was peach color too. I didn't want it totally covering the lines, so I just went over it once. I want it like faded, and I used Posca, of course, for the like little fur details. And also over here I used a Uniball Signo for just like that portion right there. And did I use a gold one? Oh yeah, I used a gold one for down on her dress, the details on her dress. You can see that I used the Zig Kuretake Wink of Stella brush pen right over here, the green part, and white Posca on the front, and also stickles right over here, just a little one, and on her what is it, her arrows holder thingy. Yeah. So this is Sagittarius. I just have one more, and then I will do a video showing all 12 zodiac sign zodiac girls from Tanya Pond. So this is the last of my finish for this video. This is Astro Inklings Zodiac Coloring Book by Tanya Pond. So I'll go ahead and show you the whips that I have right now. Okay, so the first of my whips, you might, if you've seen my previous video, I think I said something about the Night Voyage, which is illustrated by Daria Song. I do have a page that I was working on in the beginning of the year, and I wanted to finish it by the end of this year, but I don't think I will. I'll try to work on it this month, but this month is going to be really busy because we are traveling for the Christmas holidays to another state, so I don't know if I'll have enough room to carry the stuff that I want to carry with me, because we're going to be there for a while. So, but I may do a video showing what I do bring for the Christmas holidays. But this is the page that I wanted to finish. I'm going to see if I can have time to work on it a little bit. If I don't finish it for December, maybe I'll work on it in January. Okay, so this is the Night Voyage by Daria Song. The next book, I was doing a kind of color along video, and while I was trying to make room in my phone, my son had a lot of performances, and so I was trying to download everything into my Google Photos, and then accidentally erasing some of the videos there, and I erased the portion I have for Flora where I was coloring this page, and I was using the Karron colored pencils for this page. And and after I lost it, I just like lost interest, you know, just kind of mad at myself that I did that. I tried to check, but you know, things happen and stuff. So instead, before we leave on our holiday, I want to see if I can try to do a video. I have, like, for the next 2 weekends, work holiday parties to go to, so I don't know. I'm thinking maybe this page because it's just snow and trees, but I wanted to do a video showing the Karron colored pencils, but we'll see if I can get to this book. So this is Flora, and I don't know if I said it, it's by Maria Trolle. The next book is Disney Babies, which is also by Hachette Heroes. This is the circles colored by numbers, and I think I showed one from here already, which is, or did I not? I don't remember. Well, I did this one with Crayola colored pencils, and then I started doing this one, and I did it with, I wrote here, the Arteza Twi markers, and also Crayola Super Tips. And I thought I finished it, but I didn't. All that's left is number 4, which is the whole background, and I might just come in with like neo colors or something and finish it up. So that's all that's needed to finish this page. So this is Disney Babies, the circle colored by numbers by Hachette Heroes. And the next one is what I was working on before Thanksgiving, which is this page, and I was doing this for a color along on Instagram, but I didn't get to finish, so I still have the birds to do, these acorns, and I was thinking of doing the background, but I'm still not sure, still thinking about it. So yeah, so this, hopefully I can finish this soon, and you might see this up in my Instagram soon. So yeah, so this is, and I think I forgot to say what this is. This is Mechanika, which is also by Maria Trolle. And then one more whip. This is just a folder of winter themed illustrations that I was thinking of bringing with me to our holiday travels. This one is actually from Passionista Colorista. She has this on her website. You can go to her YouTube channel or her Instagram to see where you can download this, which is very generous of her and of course of the illustrators to give us these to work on for December. And yeah, so I already did one over here, and I still have to do this one for today, which is the second. So that's why. And hopefully I don't have to play catch up for the rest of them. And just to show some of the illustrations that I want to work on. I don't think I will be able to do all of them, but most of them were from Coloring Heaven. They gave illustrations to the people that are subscribed to them, and I think either subscribed or getting email from them. So this was from last year, and so I thought I would go ahead and see if I can work with any of them. So here's one, and I believe this is from Konoko Egusa. And then we also have, whoops, this one, which is by Collateral Damage. Anise Guerrero. I've seen a lot of people's colorings of this one, so really pretty. And Rita Berman. I think I have a couple of Rita Bermans from last year and then also from this year. So this is from last year. This was an illustration given through Coolcraft, I believe, of this illustrator, and I don't have the name. I have to look it up on Etsy to see who the illustrator is. But this is based off of Little Women. This is the Rita Berman from last year. It's a Christmas wreath. Yeah, so I didn't get to do it last year, so hopefully I can do it this year. Another one from Rita Berman. This is the one that she's offering this year. She has two illustrations that if you go to her Instagram, she has a link where you can download it for free. And yeah, really nice of her to offer these illustrations for us to color. And this is another one that she offered for this year's Christmas holidays. And is that it? Oh no, I forgot why I did. Yeah, I think that was it. It's two. Oh, this was the free image from Coloring Heaven for the Alice in Wonderland issue, and I printed it out and I just added it in here. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to finish all of these colorings, but it's a lot easier for me to carry in here, especially while we travel. My kids are yelling through the door, so this is it. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed seeing all the colorings I've done for these past 3 months. My family and I will be traveling, like I said, during the holidays, and I do hope I can get a lot of coloring done for December, but we'll see. I also want to do a video of what illustrations or books and supplies I'll be bringing along with me on that holiday, so hopefully I can get it out before we leave. So anyways, till my next video, please take care, keep warm or cool depending on where you are, and many happy colorings. Bye bye. Hello everyone. I forgot to add in the other projects that I was working on in between colorings, my kids were knocking on the door, totally forgot. So this is after dinner, after giving kids bath. And so the two things that I'm still kind of working on in between colorings is this crochet beanie. It's supposed to be like a slouchy beanie, and I just have a couple more rows to do, plus the border, and it's like a faux cable look for the beanie. Fun and quick, but I can't just like sit down all the time to continue. I'm just like stop and go. And yeah, so almost done. It's a Christmas present. And another Christmas present I am working on is let me just bring this one out. It's a kind of like a, not a music box, but like a, it has kind of like a glass globe on top, and this is what's going to be inside. This is the spiraling lights. So I got this all set up. I just have to start attaching all the plants all around it, plus all these little items right over here. Let me see if I can get you down lower. Okay, so this one is like a little bed, really small compared to my finger. It's like the size of my, oh, smaller than my finger. And yeah, so these are all the little bits that are going to be added to the thing, and these are flowers that are going to be added once I cut out all the rest of the pieces. It just has to be glued on, and yeah, and then that should be done. That's another present that I'm giving. And yeah, so I'm just trying to finish these out before Christmas, or before we leave especially. So anyways, let me go ahead and zoom out. So again, thank you so much for joining me and watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, especially my little side hobbies that I do in between the colorings. And so I'll see you guys in my next video. Hopefully I can try to get some more done before we leave for our holiday trip to visit our family for Christmas and New Year's. So you guys take care and happy colorings. Bye bye.